Hello, my perfect Pisces, and welcome to your general money, wealth, abundance, finance, career type reading. If you like this kind of reading, please do hit the like button, like, subscribe, share, notification bell, all that great stuff. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me grow my channel and it means a lot to me. Also, if you haven't checked out your other readings on my channel, I greatly appreciate that as well. And I do have an Etsy link up in case you would like to have a private reading via video link rather. And I have Zodiac sign cups and candles on there if you would like to purchase that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. We have lots of big changes, but let's see what we've got going on, and we will use some clarifying cards at the end that are oracle decks here. So without further ado, we will do a past, present, future spread. If you can't see it, don't worry about it. We're going through it one card at a time. But anyway, so in the past here, and again, this is recent past, time is fluid in tarot, so you may still be in the past a little bit. You may already be in the current. So we'll see what we're going on here. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So I do feel like for a lot of you, for a very long time, I don't know why I have a feeling that's for a very long time for a lot of you, but I do. Some of you, maybe not, but for most of you, I feel like for quite a long time, you feel like you haven't had a lot of choices or options, okay? So I feel like whatever you've been doing for either career or financially, you feel like you've kind of been stuck, right? Maybe you've been stuck in the job, stuck in a rut, stuck at the 9 to 5, stuck at the grind, or financially stuck, right? So maybe you've tried 57 different jobs, but regardless, nothing you've tried has really got you to the point where you could financially feel like you've made headway, okay? So maybe you've tried to, work side jobs. Maybe you've tried to start your own like little side business, side hustle, new business. You've tried a million things, but you're like, no matter what I try, none of them are really getting me to a different financial place, right? I'm still always robbing Peter to pay Paul, or I'm still always at that same level. Nothing is really giving me an extra option where I can, feel like, okay, I can finally buy a new house, finally buy a new car, finally escalate this, that, whatever, get out of debt, whatever it may be. So I feel like you're kind of stagnated. But here we have the High Priestess, okay, which is letting me know that for a lot of you, I feel like you're starting to have choices coming in as of late, okay? Now, these are choices that for a lot of you are emotional choices, okay? And I think for that reason, you're making decisions that are very emotionally based, okay? And this could be something where, it could be relationship based. You may be going through things like a breakup. You may be going through things like a divorce, a split. This may be an emotional decision with, do I make a change with my career even though I've been at this career for this long and my family doesn't want me to? Do I take this job even though it would mean, leaving my friends, my family behind, or taking my family away from everything they've ever known? If you've got, family that are, in schools or churches or clubs or sports or whatever, and that's a big deal to you, right? So it's an emotional tied decision. But I feel like at least the fact that you have a couple choices now is progress for you, right? So you are making decisions, which means that you have a decision to make. And I feel like because you have a decision to make, it's letting me know that there's a choice. Something's on the table for you. And for most of you, I don't feel like it's something where, again, you're coming up with this on your own, where you're just like, oh, let's come up with some harebrained scheme. I'm going to try to, sew water out of the garden hose like Sophia Petrillo on the Golden Girls, put it in a bottle and make a get rich quick scheme like she always did. If you ever watch that show, which is my favorite show in the whole entire universe. But anyway, I don't think it's something like that, right? I don't think that that's the situation. You're creating this. I feel like this is an actual legitimate option or choice, but it's an emotional choice. So maybe it's a choice you were kind of pushed into, especially if it's because of a split or because of a separation, but it's forcing you into, even in that regard, if that's the case, it's forcing you into making a choice that is different. And that is kind of like a tower moment in the universe, where a little bit, in a way that it's kind of a little bit less harsh for some of you, but it's a way that's kind of like urging you to make some changes, right? For the rest of you, I feel like this is an actual choice, okay? Now, the Hanged Man has come up, and that's letting me know that, again, this is not only emotional, but this is something that you're putting a lot of thought into, which even further makes me believe that, again, this is a decision that is very important to you. It's something that is going to be a big change in your life, right? It's a big shift. It's something that you are really putting a lot of thought into, and that's great. That's important, right? And it may not be something that you really wanted to see happen, but you're putting good thought into it before you act, right? So even though it may be an emotional decision, okay, it may be a decision, oh, I've got to either make this move, leave my family, leave my friends behind, or make my family leave, this place behind, or I've got to, split with my significant other and go somewhere else. I've just got to get away, whatever it may be, okay? Whatever your situation is, however it resonates with you. You aren't doing a knee jerk with this, right? You're not like, okay, quick knee jerk, I'm out of here. I'm doing crazy things. I'm just going to jump in. First thing that comes to mind, that's what I'm taking, and I'm out of here, and this and that, and I'll worry about the fallout later. You're not doing that. You're doing the hangman. You're thinking. So yes, it's emotional, and it's emotionally caused or driven, one of the two, or emotional choice, but you're very much putting thought into it, doing your due diligence. And that is so important because you know how important this decision is going forward. And that is fantastic, which means you are going to make a good shift that is going to be totally different, but hopefully very good for you, lucrative for you. Okay. So let's see where that's going to lead you, right? That's the big thing. Where are we going with it, right? So first of all, we see the 7 of Pentacles. So we know we're going to have a change here, right? We're shifting directions, we're shifting gears. We knew we needed to anyway, right? You knew that. You knew you didn't have a lot of options. You felt like that forever. You felt stagnated. You felt, right? You're excited, at least on that part, that something is shifting, whether it was forced or not. At least you can say, hey, something new, right? So let's see what else we got. We've got the Death card in reverse. So what this is telling me is that you're shifting is good. It's fated to do so. It's kind of like I said, it's like that tower moment over here. It's kind of instead of being a total collapse, it's like the universe's nudge to say, hey, let's start thinking about that and kind of shift that way. Put some thought into it. But the Death card in reverse is saying, don't start completely over now that you've kind of made that shift. Go with that shift. Flow with that shift. Keep going at it, slow and steady, but keep going at it, right? Let's see what else we got here. The World in reverse, right? So the World in reverse is, it's the start of that, okay? The world is like coming to fruition, right? Everything's coming full circle. You've completed a cycle, but this is just the beginning of your cycle, right? You are just now starting something new. You're taking off. You don't even know where it's going to end up. And that is exciting, right? That is the exciting part. For some of us, it's scary as hell, right? Excuse my language, but it's scary as heck, right? Okay. And especially it can be if it came out of something that was not something we necessarily planned for, right? If it was a split, if it was a breakup, if it was we got fired, whatever it was that was emotional here with the High Priestess, where we had to really search our soul and say, oh gosh, what are we going to do now? We got, the lesser of two evils. Which one are you, but let's think deeply about it, make smart decisions, and then go from there. And we did. You did. Because you thought about it and you made a good decision that is saying, this is just the beginning. Keep trucking. You're doing great, right? Let's see what else we got here. All right, we got the 7 of Swords. That's fantastic because what that is telling you is that you're leaving 2 swords behind, right? But you are picking up that power and you are shifting it forward, right? You have picked up 5 swords and you are raging on. So you are shifting on. You are taking it and moving it ahead. You are trucking, right? So yes, you may be leaving a couple swords behind. Yes, you may be looking back and thinking, oh, there's some moments, or oh, I wish that, could I have done this differently? Should I have done that differently? Or oh, what about that or this? There may be a moment of malaise, whatever, but you have 5 swords and you are shifting it forward, right? You are still trucking. The power is with you. You are cooking, right? This is just the beginning. Hopefully you're snowballing. Let's hope for that, right? So this is where we start going into what's coming up, right? What's coming up in the next month, 2 months, right? Because again, time's fluid in tarot. We don't know what it's going to be, for you. Everybody's kind of time frame's a little bit different, but I do feel like you're trucking forward, right? So here we have the Hermit card in reverse, and that's letting me know that you're leading out of that kind of hermitary phase. So where you were in kind of a stuck phase, the Hermit is kind of, while they are an intelligent, kind of wise person, They aren't one to take risks and come out and really go for things new. And again, because you are doing this, maybe against, maybe not because you wanted to, but because you were kind of forced to, either way, whether it was by choice or by necessity, right? What do they say? Invention is the product of necessity or something. I'm getting this quote completely screwed up. Anyways, necessity is the mother of invention, or something of that nature. But anyway, this is what's causing you to come out and create your own life, right? Invent your own life. You're coming out into the world. You're creating your own path, your own life. So maybe it was necessity. Maybe it was you felt like it was necessity because you were like, I'm sick and tired of this, no choices, right? But you're coming out, right? You're starting something new. You're trucking along. You're doing a thing. Let's see what else we got. So we have the Three of Cups in reverse, okay? Now, for a lot of you, I feel like there could be some setbacks, okay? I'm not going to lie. I feel like for some of you, this could be a setback. The celebrations may be on hold for a moment because it may be a little bit harder than you anticipated. Anytime you start something new, it can be, especially if it was, where it wasn't planned. You might have to go through some certain things, especially like divorces, separations. If you were fired and you've got to learn something new and it's a lot harder, or start new jobs harder, all those things, right? Not as exciting and fun as you would have hoped. So that's a potential, okay? Just be forewarned of that. Doesn't mean it's long term, but that could be the case, okay? However, this could also be, and we'll see kind of how it plays with the next card, but this could also be just something where, because that's a card oftentimes of collaboration with others, where this is kind of where you decide that you want to go it alone. And it may be because over here, part of your necessity was that it was caused by a partnership or somebody kind of screwing you over at a business, not doing you right, a significant other kind of leaving you, something of that nature. And you decide, what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to try some things on my own, start my own business, start my own kind of, side hustle, these kinds of things, whatever it may be. And so it's not that, you aren't, happy. It's just that you aren't wanting to be happy with others at this. You don't want to play well with others right now. You are coming out, but you're coming out on your own at first, right? You're not willing to do collaboration. You want to try this independently. You want to make sure you can stand on your own 2 feet before you allow anybody else to kind of be part of your journey. And that might be very, very smart. Again, this is kind of dependent on where you're coming from here. And also, let's see on your next card. All right, and your next card is the Moon card. And the Moon card is very much kind of like a bit of confusion, I think, for a lot of you. And I do think that for a lot of you is, again, a lot depending on why you have had to change direction. If this is because it was an emotional change of direction because, you were let go from a job, you were left by a significant other, you were, it was an unhappy, it was not an amicable, it was not a mutual type of situation. You were kind of forced into this more so decision. You've come through it with grace and class and perfectly. But however, if that's the situation you're in, I do feel at this point you are going it alone because you are once bitten, twice shy. And the Moon here is just indicative of kind of your own concern of not knowing, okay? It's more like this is, I haven't had to tread my own path in a long time. I haven't had to go through new jobs on my own in a long time. I haven't had to be by myself in a long time. So this whole Moon idea, it's kind of like I'm shrouded in mystery as to what's going to happen. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little hesitant, okay? And it's all because I'm coming out by myself. Now, on the other hand, if you are of that crew, that group, that collective section here, that, you know, you chose this path. You know, you've got the support, you've got the crew, you took your family with you, but, you know, part of it is just that you were like, I'm done with the scene that I've been in. I felt like I was just unhappy. I didn't have a lot of choices in what I was doing. It was either stick with the same way of life, doing the same thing over and over forever, or change it up, right? So I just went and changed it up. I searched my soul. I made an emotional decision to really change it all up, take a leap of faith. I, you know, really thought it through and thought that was best. I did that and I pushed through. Then here, I feel like what this is it's something where, you know, you're struggling a little bit with it, because here, the reason that you have that reversal on the 3 there is a little bit more because you don't feel like you want to celebrate, only because I think a lot of it is you're feeling like every single hurdle that you face, which everybody's going to face when they're trying something new, a hurdle, you feel like, oh gosh, did I do the right thing, right? And that's a big part of it. You can't celebrate everything if you're always kind of like, oh, did I do the right thing? Or did I screw up my family? Did I screw up my job? Did I screw up my life? Did I screw up whatever, right? And so with that, the moon here is more so like, okay, did I make the right choice? If you look at that, it's like 2 options here, right? Did I take the right path, right? Did I do the right thing? It's confusion, okay? That's what that is. But Queen of Pentacles is your answer, okay? So that is letting you know you hit that stride, okay? You'll come through this and you'll hit that stride. So whether you're going it alone and you're treading that with fear and, you know, in darkness because you don't know what to expect, and that's what the moon is to you, based on having to do it, or whether you did it willingly and you felt guilt and concern anytime something didn't go perfectly right because you second guessed yourself, either way, you come out on top with that Queen of Pentacles energy. It pays off, right? Queenly energy, Pentacles money pays off. Your gamble paid off, right? Regardless of whether you wanted it or whether it was forced upon you, you stuck by it, you pushed through it, and it pays off, okay? And here we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. Now, this 10 of Cups in reverse, all right? The only thing I can say about this 10 of Cups in reverse is that I do feel like, because you are going to have to put so much into really effort into sticking with this, and there is going to be a lot where you're going to question and you're going to doubt and you're going to be, you know, pushing and struggling and fighting to get through that, to get to that Queen of Pentacles energy, right? That there's going to be times where, you know, you may not have all that you normally have to give to your friends, your family, right? So you may feel like if there's any part of your life that has kind of suffered a little bit throughout this process, it is your personal life. Your financial life is going to boom. Do not see that being a problem at all. This is clear cut. But I do think that is what's going to happen. And now maybe that's why it even started. Again, you know, it may have been, like I said, a split in your relationships, what caused this to happen, you know, or family discord, something of that nature. So this may be nothing new to you, and you just haven't been able to have time to develop any new relationships because of it. So nothing really new here for you, no new information there. But for those of you where, you know, you've kind of made the decision, you've taken your family along on this journey and this ride with you, they may just be feeling a little bit like, okay, we're, I don't want to say second-class citizens to your, you know, your work and your projects and their this and that. It's just that, you know, you haven't really been able to feel like you've been able to pour as much heart and soul into your relationships, your family, your friends, your personal life as you have had to your professional to get through this, okay? That's not to say that you won't. It's not to say that you can't. It's now that you're on that Queen of Pentacles track, that this won't be the very next thing that you're focused on. I think absolutely once that's hit its stride, once you've got that under control, the rest will start coming like that anyway. But I do think that that will be the thing that you will kind of focus on next, is the fact that, okay, I need to kind of start working on this now. I've hit my stride on the Queen of Pentacles. I've hit my stride on my funds, my money, my job, my career, my finance. Boom. Now I need to start working on my personal life a little bit, my people. Okay. So, but that's kind of any time that you kind of pour yourself into work, right? I think with anybody, you know, whether it's a big change, no change, you know, when work gets hard, when work starts taking the toll on you, you know, other parts of your life suffer, right? I think that's standard. So I don't think that's anything too major, that you can fix that really easily. So let's get you some, this is the abundance deck. Get you some abundance cards here to kind of give you some information. Grief, okay? So again, this could be the grief of you just not having a lot of options. You feel grief personally in that you have, you know, you've let so much time go by, you've wasted so much of your life. And a lot of times we take stock at the beginning of the year of these things, you know, gosh, I'm X age and I haven't accomplished what I wanted to. Oh my gosh, I can't believe another year's gone by and I'm still doing X, Y, and Z. Oh my gosh. So it could just be that, and that's where you know, choose to make these choices. Or for many of you, this grief may be, again, why we see that High Priestess emotional type of searching your soul choice, is because you have been pushed into this by, you know, losing a job, losing a loved one, you know, and having to kind of make a change. Okay. So receiving, and again, I think this is exactly what we have here, right? We are receiving this opportunity to kind of move forward, right? This is a whole new chance to start over, right? And when we have that chance, we are going to make that shift, and you're receiving these opportunities and you're taking them, you're moving forward, right? It's new opportunity, just the beginning of this world cycle. This Seven of Swords is letting me know that you are shifting that way. You're picking up what you've got left, everything you've got in you, and you're pushing on. And that's fantastic, because when you release the negative, whether it was negative because you just weren't happy with it, or because it actually was so negative it, you know, kind of screwed you over, ditched you, whatever happened bad, whatever, you release that, and now you can receive these new opportunities, new options, and take it full advantage of it, right? And gratitude. I think this is fantastic. I think this gratitude is what you need to maintain, especially in these times where, okay, where we either are questioning, did we make the right decisions if we did it voluntarily, or we have that fear because we're shrouded in mystery of, is this going to work out, because we've never had to do this on our own before, or we've never had to blaze a new trail like this before. When that moon card is popping up and we're on our own, just be grateful that we have these opportunities, that we are able to do this, that we have these chances, that we are still able to get out there and do these things, that we are presented these opportunities to move forward, because they're going to pay off in this Queen of Pentacles way, right? So we have these things to be grateful for. What we weren't grateful for was when we had no choices over here, right? When we had nothing to choose from. So be super grateful that we have these new opportunities, new chances, new ways to make things better, right? That's when we can be grateful, right? So show that gratitude, because that's what's going to keep us moving, keep us pushing, keep us going forward. Keep that in mind. All right, so now let's get three, these are just general advice cards to kind of keep some ideas in mind, what we need to kind of keep our focus on, okay? And we'll keep those in mind, and then we'll keep on trucking, right? So we've got unlimited ideas, right? So the Hanged Man here, we've got choices we're making here with the High Priestess and the Hanged Man. So unlimited ideas. We need to be thinking, keeping our minds open, keeping those thoughts moving. What can we do with ourselves? We've got, the world is our oyster, right? At this point, either by choice or by necessity. But the more we can think of, the more different options we can come up with, and the more we can really think it through, the better we're going to be, right? Always. Due diligence, do that, think through. Successful funding, okay? And I definitely think that this is going to be part of your opportunity. You don't have to change directions, you know, with your funding. I think that this is kind of going to be an opportunity that comes to you. The Seven of Pentacles is letting me know that you're changing directions, but it's not something that's going to break you, right? It's not something that's going to, set you back or devastate you financially. So I think there's going to be enough, you're going to have the funds to make that change without being completely devastated. And that is a huge bonus. Again, something to be grateful for. You're receiving these opportunities, okay, without having to go through huge hardships to get them. Again, grateful, right? And this one, employment change. Of course, that's what we see here the whole way. We see that you are making huge employment changes of some sort that's going to lead to positive things. It just may take a little bit of tenacity on your part to push through, especially if there are times where you start questioning, gosh, am I going to be able to do this? Or should I have done this? Those kinds of things. But, don't let it get you down. You've got this. You've absolutely got this. I see that you've got this. So let's pull a psychic energy card. This is on your future here. So let's see what kind of psychic energy you're going to be applying to this future. And we have emotional loss, okay? And I do feel like, again, that part of this 10 of Cups in reverse is, again, hearkening back over here to especially the ones of you who out of necessity had to make these changes because you may have, split with somebody or decided, that for financial reasons or for emotional reasons that person was just not the right person for you. So you've decided to focus on your career or, other aspects of life. And, you may feel some emotional loss, okay? But that's okay. That's part of it. That is part of what's leading you to really develop yourself in other ways that are really, really positive for you, okay? But for those of you who chose this path regardless, not because you had to lose anything, you just chose that, I think here, the emotional loss is more so just the fact that you haven't been able to pour your heart and soul into maybe your personal life, your best friends, your family, and it may take some sacrifice on your part to really make this a thing, right? Make it a success. Make it that Queen of Pentacles type of financial success that it is. That happens, right? And you feel some emotional loss, right? You're like, gosh, I'm not getting to spend the time with my people. I'm working all the time. I'm not getting to see X, Y, and Z as much, and that sucks. But that's temporary, right? Because once you hit that Queen of Pentacles stride, if you play it smart, right, then you can start making your money work for you, like well-to-do people do. And at that point, you can start focusing more on the people that you haven't been able to spend as much time with, and or rebuilding your social calendar, your life, that kind of thing, and you won't feel as emotionally drained or lost. Okay, so let's grab a guardian angel card to see which guardian angel is going to guide you going forward and close you out here for you. All right, we have peace. And I think that's perfect because I do feel like this is going to bring you ultimate peace. I think once you realize that you can do this on your own, or if it's not on your own, the fact that you realize that you can do this complete 360, 180, 540, 720, whatever amount of changes that it takes you to get through to get where you want to be, that you can do all of those and still come out on top, okay? No matter what you've been through or no matter what you feel like you've had to come from. So even if it's not been something that you're forced to, but you chose because you came from just, plain old monotony and you were sick of it, and you've really brought yourself, up by your bootstraps, right? I feel like peace. You are going to feel so much more at peace, especially once you have, gotten to this Queen of Pentacles point where you can finally rest a little bit on your laurels as far as financially and start kind of focusing on yourself emotionally and mentally and your family and your friends. Then you have kind of all around peace, right? Financial, mental, emotional, family, finances, money, it's all coming together, right? So I think ultimately peace is going to be coming for you. Finances are coming through. Everything's going to come for you, but it's going to take some tenacity on your part, but it's all lined up for you. So I think everything's going to work out for you. I hope it does. If you enjoyed this, please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, and I hope to see you back really soon. Bye.